Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, bang. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, bang. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call. Our Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
To throw, it's Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. just gave up another one right there.
And tatter sort of sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 29, Jackson. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. Well, they played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend it and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And that's caught by Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Now Jackson on 1st down. He's got Smith here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Jackson to throw. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's got it at the 15. That one goes for 30 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Jackson, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Traquan Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 53 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Jackson. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Tucker now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Wentz. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a first down run with Collins. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Collins running it from the pistol. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He is going to find Hill here. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, is starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
From the gun, it's Jackson.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Traquan Smith with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion this half. Has been theirs. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. From the gun, it's Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing is Wentz. He finds his man Johnson. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Wentz on third down. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
We got this.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Landry Jones, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Antonio Brown, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Mike Williams, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
56 is the mark. Scared situation. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Double up.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who throw it.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Wentz now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 20! And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through. To extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And
he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Alex Collins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Ravens defense, they get ready, and they trot back out onto the field. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. Offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know the takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Johnson's got it complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 36. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Now Wentz again. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. From the left hash, this from 46. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Complete. It's Johnson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. On 1st down, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Man open. That's Jaleel Scott. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
53, Mike 53. He's
On 1st down, it's Collins. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. The open man is Smith. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Traquan Smith, 38 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense. Special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already ready at the line. This Philly offense set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Wentz now to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And again, it's Collins. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, it's Wentz. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven 1st.
56, right there, 56. I don't think you got it, son. Say go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-4